So now, since we've finished step one, we need to hammer down all of these little L-shaped hooks, just to make sure that nothing comes loose. They don't have to be like crazy hammered down, just to make sure that nothing is going to come off of them.
Yeah. Because those ones should be tight enough that the loop's not going to like come off, but we just don't want it to come off.
You can also do the same thing on the back side as well. With the exception of the center nail. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this nail right here with the sheets bend knot, that is the center nail, and we'll need that for our next step. So don't hammer that one down. And that's all we'll need for hammering down all of the nails. And then in order to weave this back portion right here so that it looks like this, we actually weave that separately. And you want to take 40 feet of rope. So we have 40 feet of rope here. And you would take both of the ends of your Danish cord and just string them through your hand like so. Keep stringing until you meet the center, and that center is important because that center is what hooks around.
That's going over the center nail.
Your center nail. Like so. And once you get it centered on there, you can take your tack hammer and you can tack it down so that it stays really well.
We don't have much room because of the knot.
Which that one doesn't stay very well. So let's get the... I'm just gonna...
He's just trying to get the nail out further so we can get some room under it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the nail out a little bit further. And then get my cord there. And then hammer it down, and that should be good. Now what you want to do is string one side of your Danish cord to the right and one side of your Danish cord to the left. And I'm probably just gonna like nice and...
This is the hard part, keeping it organized as you try to loop.
Yeah. So it's not terribly organized, but it's enough that it can fit in my hand and kind of work. So this rope can go right here. It can go under my rope, but basically what I want to start doing is I just want to start looping it through. Keep that one on the right.
Actually, just thinking you could like use our clamp and clamp it out of the way.
Yeah, you could do that. And you want to make sure that all of these are just lined up really well. You can go ahead and adjust these so that they're more even, because here there's like a big gap. And on the 23 chair, they have 4 loops. They have 4 go-arounds between every 2 strands, except for sometimes they have 3, but
Just on the end.
generally the third, when there's only 3, they're only on the ends. Although most of our chairs have only 3 on one side, and on the other side it has 4. So I've tried to just stick to the 4 mark and make it work.
So we'll just film a couple loops here, and you guys kind of get the gist of it. Don't need to film going all the way across. As you can see,
It's not
it
doesn't have like the
easy.
most finesse.
It's a little cumbersome.
And you see we have gotten 3, we've actually gotten 4 rows here. So now what I'll do is I cross over here.
The other side of the nail.
And I make sure it's really snug and tight. And then I start my weaving. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we'll have just enough space for another one.
Yeah, you can see how that is lining up perfectly in between the nails. And then she's going to cross over to the next one again.
And then I just make sure everything is super tight, as tight as I can. And then everything is good. And then I just cross over right here. And then I start again.
Maybe I'll come around to the other side.
And it's always good to just continue to be like looking at it from all different angles and looking at it from the bottom.
Yeah, that's another reason having 2 weavers is helpful. Me being on the other side, I could see things she can't see.
Because it is the worst when you get so far in and then you realize that you've made a big mistake. Okay, so this is 3 rows basically, and you can see how everything is pretty tight. It's also, nothing is overlapping. And I'll just continue to do that. And then once I get to the end, I'll tack it off and we'll show you
I'll show you how to do
we'll
that.
show you how to tack it off.
And probably won't show you the other side either, because that's going to be
The other side is
basically the same thing going the other direction. Whoops.
The other side is exactly the same. You would just tack it off over there.
And again, doing the other side, we'll be looping that excess from the knot into the looping as well. So
you can see how I did it on here. There was that extra piece, and I just finished it off and looped it in there so that it looked really nice. And I'll do the same thing here. So when it's done, literally probably all you'll see is the knot part.
all right. So you can see we've got the 1 strand from the center done all the way to the edge. And it's pretty easy. Now we're just throwing 2 tacks in there. And I'm guessing you're gonna do 2?
Yeah.
One down. looks like. Just got to finish up that side and do the same thing, and then we'll be able to move on to step 3, which is sides. And then we'll just cut that excess off. So we had, what, 40 feet, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got an extra 5 feet at least on that one side, so it might not even take that much for these chairs. We bought a 10-pound spool, right?
Yeah. Unlaced.
Of unlaced
I
3-ply Danish cord. And that, this is the, what, we're almost halfway through our 3rd chair, and we still have quite a bit left. So, all right, here's the finished product with the wrap on the back side. There was our sheet spin knot. You can see I looped in that extra bit there behind, and then just like on the other side, tacked it in twice. So that is the finished bit on the back, and we're getting ready to start the sides.